Good morning to everyone. In today's class, we are going to see about the geographical features of India and how geography affected the history of India in ancient times. The learning objectives of the geographical features of India are to paraphrase the major landform features and the underlying geological structure, to identify the river systems of the country and explain the role of rivers in the human society, to explain the climatic variation of our country and its impact on the life of the people, to develop concern about the need to protect the biodiversity of our country. So now we can see the images of our geographical features of India, and in eastern side we are going to see about the Konkan coast and Malabar coast at the western side, in the eastern side the Bay of Bengal and the Coromandel coast, and the central plateau lies in the central region of India, the Himalayas in the north, so the Thar desert in the Rajasthan region. So let us go into the content of the geographical features of India. India is a land of diversity in all manners that we all know, and from culture, economy and even the landscape of India has diverse elements on all one landmass. The wide range of physical features of India makes the country a complete geographical study. In fact, India has every possible landscape that the earth has. From cold mountains to arid deserts, vast plains, hot and humid plateau and wide seashores and tropical islands, the physical features of India cover every terrain. And how the origin of the Indian landscape that we are going to see now. During the millions of years ago, the peninsular plateau region, that is the old landmass, was a part of a Gondwana land. So what do you mean by Gondwana land? It covers the parts of India, Australia, South Africa and South America. So the four countries forms the Gondwana land in those days in old landmass. Over hundreds of years of shifting the landmass and ocean currents broke this landmass into multiple pieces. And one such piece was the Indo-Australian plate, started shifting towards northwards where it collided with the Eurasian plate. So now Europe. Eurasia is nothing but the parts of Europe and Asia. Consequently, this collision caused the landmass to fold and become what we know as the Himalayas today. So before entering into the content of the physical features, let us see the images of the physical features. The origin of the Indian landscape. How the Indian landscape had originated before the original landmass. And thereafter, after the collision of different plates, many such geological events led to the formation of each of the varied physical features of India. Now let us see the physical features images of the geographical features of India. And this is the Thar desert, and next is the mountainous regions of the Himalayas, and next is the plateau, and below this mountains and coastal regions of India. So these are the images of the physical features of India. So how the physical features of India has been divided into various regions. Let us go into the topic. The main physical features of India are classified into 6 broad categories according to their physiographic forms. And first of all is the Himalayan mountains. The northernmost landscape of the country highlights the fold mountains of the Himalayas. Though geologically young, the Himalayan mountains are the loftiest and the most rugged part of the world, since they stretch across 2500 km from Kashmir to the north through Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast. These mountains form arc-like structure, and this keeps the cold Arctic winds from reaching the tropical landmass. One of the most significant of all the physical features of India, the Himalayas vary in width between 400 km to 150 km, and furthermore the entire mountain belt is divided into 3 main sections. First one, the greater Himalayas, second one, the lesser Himalayas, and the third one, the outer Himalayas. The greater Himalayas is also known as Himadri, with average peaks reaching up to 6000 meters above the sea level. Next, the lesser Himalayas with average peaks rising as high as 4,000 meters. And the third one is the outer Himalayas, and this is also known as Shivalik range. The eastern hills are the Purvanchal covering North Bengal and the northernmost parts of the northeastern states. Next important geographical features is the northern plains. The three major river systems of India, that is Indus, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries, have fed the foothills of the Himalayas. Since these river basins had a huge amount of alluvial deposits from these glacial rivers, these regions grew fertile over hundreds of years and led to the northern plains. Furthermore, the northern plains can again be divided into three significant parts, that is Punjab plains, second one is the Ganges plains and the Brahmaputra plains. So first we are going to see about the Punjab plains. The Indus river and its tributaries led to the formation of these vast plains, a major part of which now lies in Pakistan. The second one, the Ganga plains. This spreads across the states of North India, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Delhi and West Bengal. Third one is the Brahmaputra plains, and this covers major parts of Assam and northeastern states. And the last one is the peninsular plateau, and the oldest landmass, this is the oldest landmass of India. The peninsular plateau was the result of the tectonic shifts or the Gondwana land. So this we have seen in the previous slide, that is Gondwana land means the part of India, South Africa and some parts of Europe. So the four regions covers the Gondwana land, and this massive plateau area is further divided as the central highlands lying on the north of the Narmada river and covering a large part of the Malwa plateau. The Deccan plateau, this is also one of the physical features of India, and it is a triangular landmass lying on the south of the Narmada river. The eastern Ghats and the western Ghats border the Deccan plateau on the eastern and western sides respectively. This we have already seen in the India map. While the Satpura mountain ranges stand on its northern part, the western Ghats have higher elevation with a maximum height of 1600 meters. On the other hand, the eastern Ghats reach to a maximum of 600 meters in height. And Indian desert. The undulating sandy plains covered with sand dunes on the western ranges of the Aravalli hills comprises the Indian desert. So while we see the Aravalli hills, it's the largest mountainous ranges in India. With rainfall as low as 150 millimeter per annum, this region is the driest part in the country, and thus it has very low greenery. The states of Rajasthan and northwestern parts of Gujarat collectively form the desert region. Regarding the coastal plains, next important physical features of India. Right on the outer edges of the Indian peninsula lies the narrow strips of the coastal plains. These sea-fed regions cover the shores of the Bay of Bengal in the east and the Arabian Sea on the west. The western coast along the Arabian Sea can again be divided into three sections. The Konkan coast covering coastal Maharashtra and Goa, the Kannada plains covering coasts of Karnataka, the Malabar coast covering Kerala. On the other hand, the eastern coast has two broad sections. One is the northern Sarkar, the other is Coromandel coast. And finally, the islands. Two groups of islands lie on the two oceans surrounding the main landmass of the Indian subcontinent. These most likely complete the physical features of India, and the island region is divided by the mainland as well as the seas, thus forming two major island states. One is the Lakshadweep and other one is the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Lakshadweep, which lies closer to the Malabar coast, and these consist of clusters of coral islands collectively named Lakshadweep. It's a group of islands and also known as coral islands. Next, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which are off the Bay of Bengal and lie on the Indian Ocean. These group of islands are larger in size than their western counterparts and have rich biodiversity. Because the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are closer to the equator, the region also experiences equatorial climate. These are the geographical features of India, which indicates the biodiversity of our mother country. And thank you. We can see the next content of the module in the next class.